It was like picking. She said good morning. I thought, no, we told everyone it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She's going to say good morning now, but people think we.
No, I never even picked that one.
Yeah.
We brought some with us.
Interesting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pistol Australia live show here from the Berrida Hotel, part of the WA 1500 World Championships. We've got a live audience. Make some noise, some people. Beautiful. First time live audience. Great to have everyone in the room here. They've all been out in the range competing today, having a great time. Beautiful day, perfect conditions for a shoot today. Up in the back corner, we've got Dean there. He's Sponsors Corner.
Hey,
Red Centre Projectiles. Yeah, we'll come around and get Dean on shot there, mate.
Hey, folks.
In the back, holding the bar. There he is. He's on the back there holding the bar. Dean Bruce. We're going to come and have a chat to you in a bit, buddy, and you've got a couple of surprises for us throughout the show.
Sweet, absolutely.
Absolutely. Right. So, let's have a look at the hotel we're staying in, the Berrida Hotel. We've got some footage. We flew the drone up today. Let's roll a bit of that. Yeah, so here's the hotel we're staying, the beautiful Berrida Hotel. They've really been looking after us. They've given this room all day today. We've set up, we're doing our live show here. All the competitors are staying. The food's fantastic, the restaurant's nice, the bar's good. And I think there's a party room just outside here that everyone's been going into throughout the afternoon. So that's been pretty good fun for everyone. But while we're looking at that, I'm going to get over here on the couch. We're going to chat to the president in a second here, Ray Andrews. Ray, how you doing, buddy? President of Pistol Australia here at the Berrida Hotel, the WA 1500 World Championship. Must be good to get the event underway.
It certainly is, Mike. It's been 2 years in the making from when the WA 1500 Association sanctioned it to come to Australia for 2019, and we've been working towards what's happening out there now. which officially started today for the first day of the competition. And it's taken, last 15 months we've had at least 4 or 5 of the meetings of the organising committee to make sure that it all happens correctly. And,
we're going to have a chat to some of the guys on the organising committee later in the show today. The Pistol community's really pulled together to put this event on, and so many volunteers are helping out at the range during the competition. You just can't do the event without volunteers.
No, it's fantastic, the help that everyone's giving. And, we do thank them for all the time and effort they're putting in, because not only are they competing, but they're also working as well. And that's a big ask.
Yeah, you had a lot of competitors, or a number of competitors, who are working at the actual championships now. Shot in the previous 3 or 4 days. They had some challenging conditions, but they're here competing now. They're giving their time helping our international visitors and our Australian team compete in the World Championship.
Unfortunately, that's the way it goes because you can't control the weather. And I agree. They did shoot earlier on in the week before the main match started today, and they did suffer under some of the wind conditions, which weren't there today, because today was, you couldn't have asked for a better day today.
No.
It was magic.
And a really fantastic environment around here. It's a brand new range up there in Hilltop. It was commissioned or spoken about, and the first sods were turned 9 years ago, I believe, and now the range is to fruition. It's got its first international competition, and the Southern Highlands is such a beautiful part of New South Wales.
Oh, it definitely is up here on the Hilltop and on the Southern Highlands, and the range is a fantastic venue. It's worked out very well. It accommodates for so many shooters at one time, which is good. And I've been over to Germany and Sweden and see what they do over there, and they've been putting on 30 odd shooters at a time. We can put on 33, so we're in the mix with what happens over in Europe. Fantastic.
Let's have a look at the Southern Highlands. They've given us some footage to look at. Beautiful part of New South Wales. Well, that's a little bit of the area around here, the Southern Highlands. Of course, for Noel Harrod there, we had the shot of the Brumbies running around the park, because he does love his Brumbies. We've got our WA 1500 national team here with us today, and we're going to get some of the athletes out. So put your hands together and welcome Peter Bruce, Linda Jekyll and Jamie Longbottom. Welcome, guys, onto the couch, fireside chat here for the show here, the Pistol Australia Live show. Of course, the competition's still running to name the show, and I know a few of you maybe are thinking of some names you might want to submit. There's a great prize to be given out. But starting off, firstly, your pride to represent Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my third or fourth year now, and yeah, I love it every time.
For me, it's an honour, actually. It's also my third or fourth year.
Yep.
It's the wonderful people that you meet and the lifelong friendships that you make, not just in Australia but around the world as well. So I just love it.
So, Jamie, tell us about the club that you compete for, and how did you get started in pistol shooting?
Yeah, quite a little while ago now. So the club we're from is Cairns. It's far north Queensland. So a little club, but there's a lot of good shooters there over the years. With our state representative side, it's been really good. So we get a lot of support from the shooters that are there, and it's a very good club to get some support from and work through to the ranks like this.
Peter, you're based out around Orange.
Yep.
Your club's there. Obviously, your father's a fairly large figure in pistol shooting in Australia. He probably got you started.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been hanging around pistol shooting as long as I can remember, and loved it ever since. He was the integral part.
Integral part. Linda, you're a top class pistol shooter. You're here at the World Championship. But if you weren't a pistol shooter, would you compete at other sport? Did you try other sports as you were growing up?
I used to be a swimmer, and I played a bit of volleyball, and spent 20 years playing tennis. And in my 30s, I think I'm getting too old to compete with the young ones. And I just happened to stumble upon pistol shooting. And I went to the local range, and they accepted me with open arms, and I was hooked since
Fantastic.
then. Yep.
And so you've been in the sport now for how many years?
Since 2003, so it's about 16 years now.
Okay, and 4 times now in the national team. So you've progressed through the club level into club competition.
Club level, state level, nationals, and now
Yeah.
on the national team. So it's been a wonderful sport. Love it. Yeah.
And a great bunch of teammates here
Absolutely.
in the national team.
Yeah, they're good fun.
Yeah, you guys all get along. It's like a little family.
yeah,
It's all
that's it.
very, very close.
Yeah, all the shooters, anywhere you go, you can always find someone around the state, and you can always drop in if you're in the area, and everyone's willing to supply accommodation or cold beer.
We always help each other out. It's great.
Everyone helps
Yeah.
each other out. Lots of help for everyone. Dean, what's going on at the back out there, mate? You've got a little surprise for us.
Bit of ruckus up the back here,
With
Westy.
the ruckers at the
We're,
back. Dean Bruce is coming
making
down.
our
What's
way
going
through.
on?
Special day for the young fella.
Oh, it's
No, that's
Peter's birthday. Happy birthday, Pete.
special day for Pete and some very special birthday presents, son. So there you go.
Oh, beauty.
Red Santa projectile shirt and some projectiles there, mate.
I thought he was
Even some very special cake decorations for you. Well, there you go, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, old fella.
Well done, mate. Well done. Well, you Pete, pretty special representing Australia on home soil, World Championship birthday as well.
Yeah.
You're surprised here. You didn't know that was coming, did you?
No, I didn't know that was coming. And to be delivered by the old bloke up in the bar, it's pretty good.
Rumour has it you got shares in this Red Centre projectiles.
Yeah, I know a little bit about Red Centre projectiles. They're Dad and my major sponsor and our company, alongside my little brother Jared.
Yeah.
We love it. We travel everywhere, so we thought, oh well, let's give it a crack.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to Dean about it a little bit later. I mean, you guys started doing projectiles for your own competition, and then everyone started asking you, well, what are you doing here? You guys are shooting really well, so let's get some of the gear you're using.
Yeah, we started with a single stage Magma and was progressing along and started shooting some nice scores and stumbled across a few different things along the way and so on and so forth.
Well, fantastic. Good luck for the rest of the week in the competition, guys. We've got some footage here on the range today of everyone competing, so let's have a bit of a look at that. welcome back. There's a bit of a sight of Hilltop Range today. First match of competition of the World Championship officially underway this morning, so everyone's been out and had a bit of a shoot. Rest of the Australian team here, Chris Banfield, Marnie Jones and Lindsay Jones, the manager. Put your hands together for them. Dean, have you got any more surprises for us? We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. He's got all sorts of things up his sleeve. But Chris, you're from Tasmania. Your local club down there. When did you get started?
So I got started pistol shooting when I was about 5 years old through my dad. We're down at the Van Diemen Pistol Club. So I started going out to the club with him when I was 5. I'm now 33, so I've been shooting a little while. But it's a good club down there. They support us really well, and it's quite a good facility. So.
And you're a bit of a veteran here on the Pistol Show because you were on last week, live from the Spirit of Tasmania, heading across Bass Strait.
Yep, it was a good trip over actually. It was nice and calm, so it was pretty cruisy.
I guess travelling, bringing your pistol and your projectiles, it's easy to drive.
Absolutely.
Fly and fly.
Yeah. Like with flying, you've only get your 5 kilos of ammo. So when you take the boat and drive, you can carry all the gear that you need to see you through the competition easily. So.
Yeah, you want to be well prepared. You can take lots of stuff. You can have a change of clothes. Or everything you need when you're on the road, without having to worry about that little bit of luggage and the flights, and obviously checking your firearm in to get them on the planes.
Yeah. So just like my gun box is about 15 kilos, so that takes a fair chunk out of your carry-on weight if you're on a plane, and then your ammo and stuff like that. So no-brainer to drive up.
Yeah. Marnie, you've been firing the guns for a little while here and enjoying your time, obviously, in the Australian team. Who's the biggest influence on your career?
Probably the biggest influence is the people that we compete with and we shoot with, I really think. So if it's not a good environment, you can come into something and it's not, you think, oh no, it's not for me, but like our community, the pistol shooting community, it's the same everywhere in the world. Everybody looks after everyone and offers advice and encourages people, so I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and we spoke to you last week as well. Obviously, your dual role here as a competitor, also as part of the organising committee. So
yes.
You've been very, very busy in the lead up to this championship.
Yes, extremely busy, but it all seems to be going pretty smoothly so far, and hopefully for the rest of the week it'll be just the same, and we'll have some nice weather and everyone will have some really good scores down and a good time. Yeah.
Lindsay is the manager of the team. Are they all doing what they're told? Are you having to pull any of them into line?
No, I don't have any trouble with that. They're all very receptive to my requests and Pistol Australia's needs, and Pistol Australia look after the team and the team look after Pistol Australia. Yeah,
obviously in the morning you're telling them which shirts to wear, so you're all wearing the same team gear. You've got a number of uniforms, tracksuits, making sure you're looking like a team when you hit the range.
Yes, that's correct. We try and stay as a unit and combine as a unit, and that way, by the unison support, you're supporting each other, you look professional and represent the country properly.
Yeah, like I asked the other guys, obviously pistol is your main sport now. What else have you done, other sports, and what would you do if you weren't a pistol shooter?
Well, I played hockey for about 23 years, played A-grade hockey down in Launceston South Launceston for quite a few years, and I started coaching a fellow shooter, Matt Lockhart, and he was going up through the ranks, and he just sort of made me sort of tick over and think, oh, what do I want to get out of it? And that's when I sort of decided to go for the Australian team and have a bit of a crack at making that. So
sure,
lucky enough to make it in.
Fantastic. Yourself, Marnie?
I was a gymnast actually.
Okay.
Yeah. From the time I was about 8 years old until I was about 14, just under the Olympic international competition level.
Yeah. So being precise and precision, which is something in gymnastics, that translates well into your shooting?
Yeah, the physical side of things does, yes. Yeah, so you still sort of, keep yourself a bit tidy, a bit fit. So yeah, don't have any trouble with that side of things and the precision, yeah. But pistol shooting is still very individual. It's not, you can pull some things out of other sports, but there's extra things in pistol shooting which is the challenges that we all enjoy, and that's why we keep coming back, because so far no one of us have nailed everything yet.
No,
and I think
no.
we'll just keep coming back until we do.
No, well, obviously the aim is 1,500 points, but that's very, very difficult to obtain. But I guess that bringing your firearm up into that precise position physically, you've got to be able to do that over and over again.
Yes, yeah, that just comes with practice, though. You don't have to be overly strong, but you can go to the gym and work out, but you need to use the specific muscles for those moves. So if you're doing enough training, dry firing, and you're lifting the weight of the guns, it's fine. So.
Pete, what have you got for us up there, mate? Another surprise.
I've got to have to interrupt, mate. I've heard enough of this gym and gymnastics and fair dinkum. It's a joke.
So you're not a man who's ever spent any time in the gym,
I'm going to help the old gymnastic side of things here with a big fat cake. Someone else's birthday. Yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Happy birthday, Marty.
Very, very special cake decorations on there, and of course a lovely Red Centre projectile shirt.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
A small.
I believe that's what you've been wishing for a fair while, is a Red Centre projectile shirt.
It'll take some eating.
Yes, a small one, but yes, that'll be fine. I might be able to wear it as a dress. 'Cause I'm sure it's a small men's.
Blow your
I'll
candles
eat the
out.
cake.
We didn't get Pete to blow his candles out, but blow your candles
There
out.
we go.
Well done. Congratulations. So it seems like it's turning into the Fireside birthday show. But guys, again, as I said, best of luck for the rest of the competition through the rest of the week. Great honour representing Australia on home soil. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I have a chat to you, Dean, at the back there? Come on, let's go. Let's go and check what's going on at the back up there. You're causing all sorts of ruckus.
$20 to eat it.
Right, we'll just squeeze in here.
25.
Now,
Not enough.
we thought we'd make Sponsors Corner because it's really important, obviously, promoting the WA 1500 event, promoting pistol, and your company, Red Centre Projectiles, are one of the major sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought it was pretty important that we jump on board. It's not often Australia gets to host World Championships, and particularly in New South Wales. And well, as discussed earlier, the show doesn't go on without volunteers, and it certainly doesn't go on without sponsors. So Pete and Jared and myself, we jumped on board.
Yeah, fantastic. And you'd encourage other people in all types of business to get on board and help support, obviously, the national teams and their club teams going off to interstate competitions?
Absolutely. Pete and I certainly, we struggled for a while to get some good quality projectiles as frequently as we needed them. So we made the business decision to start Red Centre Projectiles, and become fairly apparent that other people were in the same situation as us, and away it went. So the exposure and the recognition for sponsoring a major event like this, it'll be beneficial in the long run.
What's special about your projectiles? They're a little bit different than everyone else's, and you were shooting some good scores, so people went, wait a minute, what are you using? I want a bit of that.
The company's based on quality. We really have tried the highest standard of quality control we can possibly do, and then, well, the evidence was on the target. So once it wasn't a hard product to promote. So our company holds records at state level and world level. So it was pretty easy to endorse, and we can maintain that quality. I'm sure we'll continue to grow.
Yeah, so you can sell obviously nationally. You're doing much international stuff. You're doing any exporting at the moment?
Yeah, we've sent some projectiles overseas for the lead up to this shoot actually, and then a couple of those guys then knew that they had a product they could rely on when they got to Australia, and we've supplied them, and hopefully they'll get good results as well.
Well, I guess that's pretty good for them too. Coming from overseas, they don't have to pack ammunition, take it on the plane. They know they've got a quality product here in Australia to use.
Definitely, it's one of the most challenging things as an international shooter because of the 5 kilo limitation on the aircraft. We were certainly looked after by various host nations when we travelled overseas, and still are. And it's a very important part of being able to have a good quality product at the other end when you get there.
Yeah. And your dual role here, obviously, as part of the organising committee. You've already competed for your World Championship events earlier in the week, and you're doing a bit of coaching as well?
Yeah, I do a fair bit of coaching. I enjoy that. It's certainly, I decided probably 5 or 6 years ago to increase my coaching level and put back into the sport. I'm in the minority group, I suppose. I'm still a competitor, but I'm certainly enjoying the coaching aspect as well.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to just cross back down to the lounge there, and we're going to talk to some of the international competitors. I think Rob's got something to take us across to that. Good chat. Thanks. Well, welcome back. I'm back by the fireside, and I've got some of our international competitors that have travelled from all over the world. We've got Bernard Paul from Austria.
That's me.
He's in the middle. There you go. They've mixed me up there. Bernard Paul's in the middle there. Rolly Miles from Canada. And on the end there, Thomas Svensson from Sweden. There we go. Travelling to Australia from all parts of around the world, jet lag, does that affect your competition?
Yeah, it was a pretty long haul. From where I am, I live in the centre of Canada, so we got to fly to one of the coasts first. So we got a 4-hour drive to an airport, 5-hour flight to a major airport, 15-hour flight down here, and then a little bit of a drive to get here. But
it's a big commitment, but you're having a good time in Australia?
We're having a blast.
Yeah, fantastic. How's your day gone today?
We got through it.
You got through it. Bernard, yourself, obviously coming from Europe, and Thomas also from Sweden. It's a fair journey also getting out here to Australia. It's a fair commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a 2-hour drive in the morning, and then 7 hours to Doha, and then 14 hours to Sydney. But we had a bit of chance to arrive. So the jet lag was not so the biggest problem, but it will be a big problem when we get back home.
Yeah, well, you'll be loaded up with gold medals, and you'll be taking them all home, I'm sure.
We hope so.
Do you get to spend any time here in Australia while you're here and travel around and have a bit more of a look at the country?
Yeah, but not so much time. Unfortunately, it was about 3 days to acclimatization, and we're visiting some nice sites here in the area, and also Sydney, of course. Yeah.
Sure.
And we enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a really nice area.
Thomas, how quickly have you acclimatised to Australian conditions?
I arrived quite early. Already on 24.
Okay, so have you had a good look around?
I have a good look around. I had a few days in Sydney. Then I have a gorgeous drive up to Lindsay Mani, up in Galgo.
Yep.
I've spent some days up there and do my reloading. There I'm a support crew down here. Usually looked after each other because we know all the hassle around ammunition and so on.
Yeah.
And the Swedish ammunition got blocked by FedEx. So we were totally out of competition ammunition when we arrived here. But all the Australians are just putting up the efforts and bringing up all the supplies we need. So we've been reloading on site. And
fantastic.
We're going through the competition with new ammunition.
Yes, that's good. And you found that's okay in competition. Obviously,
yeah,
you were expecting to have your gear arrive, and it hasn't got here. And
no, it didn't get here. So FedEx did do made you screw up.
Yeah.
But
makes it tough. Makes it tough.
Makes it
a lot of dry firing.
Yeah. Makes it tougher, but you used to it. I mean, you're traveling around the world, and you have your 5 kilos.
Yeah.
And then you either ship your ammunition or you do your loads on site. And when you do the loads on site, you have your support.
Yeah.
Everybody just stretch out. What do you need?
Mm.
That's the big how to say, the big core of the shooting community. Everybody's helping out. No one lets anyone be alone or having troubles. If you have troubles besides the line, everybody stands up to help.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, it is a very close-knit community, even though it is international. It's fantastic that people chip in and help you guys out. You've come a long way, and we're really glad that we have 8 nations competing here. Well, Australia makes it 9 nations, but 8 international nations competing here in the championships. The Kiwi boys got here today. They unfortunately didn't make the opening ceremony, but that's a bit disappointing for them. But I think you watched it on the live stream, did you? So. You guys got to raise the flag during the opening ceremony?
Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt there, old mate, but I'm all out of cake.
You're all out of cake?
But I'm just having a look at those big units. I don't think they need any more cake.
They don't need any more cake.
So Dean, I think for Rolly and me, you need ES, elephant
that small.
Copy. It's on its way.
Yeah. They'll come and measure up for a couple of Red Centre shirts later. Don't worry about
Sorted.
that. Have you tried any of his projectiles?
I have not yet, but I'm looking forward to trying them.
Yeah, I will see the big man after, and I'm sure he'll line you up with some, and you can have a couple of goes at the range. Both of you, all three of you, competing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep. And what stage of the competition are you guys up to? What sort of matches are you shooting tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'll be starting a 60-round match in the morning and then start a main match in the afternoon. So just kind of getting into the major focus now and try to bear down for the next couple of days and see if we can pull out some good scores.
And moving obviously forward to Saturday is club teams and then international teams in the afternoon. So that's a big event for you guys shooting the international teams event.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's what we travel for.
Yep.
I belong to the Swedish national team, and we definitely dig in for the Saturday. We shoot the club teams in the mornings, and then we definitely need to be on top on Saturday, on the evening.
In the evening, Saturday afternoon. Competition in Europe, is it obviously the distance to travel is not an issue? You can drive to a lot of competitions?
Yeah. Nearly to all competition.
It is quite easy. As the guy from Tasmania, Chris, loading up the car, you load up with the supplies you need, and then you just drive. If it is 2, 3 or 4 days to drive, well, you drive.
You drive, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely drive, because ammunition is also an issue, always an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well,
if
it's part and parcel of the competition, part and parcel of the sport.
It is. And if we have an Australian visiting us, we make certainly sure that they have all they need if they're coming in. So we, as I said before, we are definitely helping out. Everybody's coming to Europe for competitions, whatever they reach out to get the help.
Yeah. And Rolly, Canada, I mean, do you compete also in the USA and Canada? Do you cross across the border there? Or
We dip down across the border a few times. Mostly we travel across Canada, though. Mostly the western provinces of Canada. Like I say, from where I am, I'm kind of dead center middle, so I'm still 2,500 kilometers to the west coast, another 2,500 kilometers the other way. So
yeah,
we spend a lot of holidays and days off traveling to competition.
Yeah. And what are your home ranges like? I mean, compared to Australian ranges, what you've seen here at Hilltop, are they different, or are they the conditions obviously are different to shoot?
Well, I see a little less snow here.
But a lot of more flies.
Lots more flies, yeah. A little bit of that. Get away, you know. Get the hat with the corks on it. Yeah, that's the Australian way. So
yeah, so the shooting ranges in Europe are not really different to Australia, but we have also really a lot of different shooting ranges in Europe. So we have these high shoot protections, or not, it depends. In Sweden, you don't need that. Not everywhere.
Not everywhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
Yeah.
For my local club example,
Yeah.
we don't have any 50-meter range available. So those who shoot the PPC 1500 will travel 100 kilometers one way to practice on 50 meters.
okay.
Yeah. So we had some efforts or dedication to actually follow through and do what you plan to.
Yeah, it's a huge commitment. It's like a lot of people here in Australia. It's a long distance to travel to competitions.
Yeah. But otherwise, we have quite a few ranges in Sweden.
Yeah.
And also we have access to the nature in Sweden, because we have other events that we shoot in the nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's quite good ranges. All over Europe, is the quality of the ranges are good.
Is officially, yeah.
Yeah, officially.
I agree with that. So we have also those. We shoot a lot of inside. We have a lot of shooting halls.
Yes.
Where you can
Obviously
shoot
due to the weather in the winter.
Yeah,
you can still
in
go
winter
and
time we
compete.
shoot inside. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And well, guys, it's fantastic that you gave your time here today, and you're here in Australia. We love having you here competing in the WA 1500 World Championship, and best of luck for the competition. We're going to take you out with some more footage from the range today.
Thank you.
Boys. Oh, you swapped over. That's it. Yeah, please. Yeah. Oh, well, we're back. Here we go. So welcome now to our part of our organising committee. Obviously, a lot of people have put a lot of time into getting the WA 1500 World Championships up and running, but I've got here obviously Dean, who's interjected a few times throughout the show, Martin O'Brien in the middle there, and Lindsay Jones, manager of the team, the Australian team, and also tournament organiser.
Match director, really.
Director,
Yeah. So when 2 years ago, when Pistol Australia put up their hand, I put my hand up to be match director. The rest of us sort of volunteered at the same time. We've been overseas several times, seen how it's run over there, and turned around and thought that we'd like to put on a spectacle and come through with the goods like they do it overseas. So.
Yeah, and you guys have a bit of a preamble before the competition starts, and you've tried to introduce something very Australian into that?
Yeah, overseas we noticed the Europeans always say "so" before they did any of their speeches, so we've got "g'day."
Fair enough. Martin, your role here in the competition?
In the competition, I was a competitor who I shot in the prelude to the
Preludes,
competition,
yeah.
so we could then work through the main part of the competition and have a smooth running, so we didn't have people running backwards and forwards. I've also looked after the international competitors and sorting their paperwork to get them into and out of Australia with their firearms and ammunition.
Yeah, what's involved with that? Obviously, a lot of government red tape, a lot of regulations that you've got to comply with to get those firearms into Australia?
Yeah, that's correct. Border Force are charged with our export out of Australia. Police are charged with the import into Australia. The process I used was through our Defence Force, and that needed a number from Defence, a number from Customs, so 2 forms before we even got started. Then we have to look after the import of ammunition and firearms, separate forms. This year we had some competitors who had standard magazines above what Australia law allows, so we had to get permission from police to allow that, and those people then had to complete a prohibited weapons form, which is another piece of paper, and once all that was collected, we then looked at the export. So Defence gave us a defence permit, which allows them to remove their equipment brought into Australia, and then we have to go through Australian Border Force to get the export declaration that allows them to take it out.
Take it out again. I have heard, though, that it was generally pretty smooth sailing through Sydney Airport, that they were well looked after?
They were. We had one small issue. Rolly Miles, who was sitting up here earlier, I went to pick him up, and there were some issues there, and it was there's a lack of communications with the paperwork coming down to the people on the floor. That was resolved fairly early, and I think I've not had one complaint since. It's all been praised for the Australian Border Force guys bringing them through. I think it was 10 minutes quoted as the time for some of them to get through, which is a lot better than the Australian manager gets when they come back over.
Yeah. And Dean, we were having a bit of a chat last night. You guys are sort of instrumental in bringing WA 1500 to Australia some years ago to introduce a new match into this country.
Yeah, absolutely. There was probably 3 prominent figures there, and it was sold to us that if we demonstrated that we would adopt the match and start shooting it regionally, state level, that Pistol Australia would introduce it at Pistol Australia level, at national level, and if we could generate enough interest around the states, eventually that we would, Australia would select a representative team. So we got on the bandwagon pretty early. That was some 15 years ago now. Could be a little longer. We did start shooting it nationally, stately. In New South Wales, we were the prominent state initially. I canvassed pretty hard with the neighbours, north and south, and eventually we got enough states on board to warrant it being shot at the national championships.
And look where it's taken you. I mean, obviously you've been overseas, competed at World Championships. You've got a world record with your son.
Yeah, a very special moment in my shooting career to be able to shoot with Pete and shoot a world record. It was a very memorable moment.
Yeah. So you guys have been working on this for 14, 15 months to get this event up and going and actually on the line today in the first official competition of the World Championships.
Yeah, it's been that long, and we've had some real productive meetings. We all knew the boundaries and parameters which the competition had to be put forward. Pistol Australia and New South Wales APA have been forthcoming in letting us do it the way it should be done overseas. We've been under their guidance all the time, but yeah, we hope that this spectacle will put us on the world stage, that we've run a perfect event.
Yeah, you've run a good World Championship, and you'd hope maybe that the event can come back to Australia sometime in the near future, and you guys have a wealth of experience along with all the volunteers and all the people who have helped in this event would be good to use in the future.
Well, the volunteers have been astronomical. Like, I think up the range we've got 40 people, I suppose, in and out of the range doing their piece. Dean's the Chief RO, Martin's doing the other end, then we've got all the other staff looking after the individuals, and everything today went well. We've put in the hard yards. We've been there since 8 o'clock and got out of there at 5:30, but it all runs fairly smoothly.
Yeah, you just couldn't wait to get out of there to get here on the TV and sit in front of the fire, could you?
That was the deadline.
Well, that's probably the good thing. You can't compete after 5 o'clock, because otherwise we would have been scrambling to get people here for 7 o'clock show. It's been great having a live audience here today. Thanks for coming, everyone. Yeah, it's been really good. Fantastic. I'm just going to wrap it up here. We're looking for a name for our show. So we've had people on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. So if you've got any ideas, get onto social media, or Pistol at pistol.org.au is the email address, and onto the website there, pistol.org.au, with all the information about the event. It'll link you there to the WA 1500 World Championship. Give us a name. We've got a great prize. We've got a signed shirt framed by all the national teams from 2019 from Pistol Australia for all the different disciplines. So that's a fantastic prize to go up on your clubhouse wall or on your bar at home. I urge everybody to get in and get a name and put it in. Who knows who's going to win? We know we've got a few we like, and we'll get a short list, and we'll have the voting going starting after the 18th. But that's going to wrap up from the show here from Beradar Hotel. Thanks for being part of it. If you're in the area, please come down to Hilltop and watch some of the WA 1500. It's a fantastic competition. See you again soon.